Divorce. Let's get into it. Divorce is not something that I take lightly. I do not think that everybody should get divorced. I don't think most marriages should get divorced. But what I will tell you is if they are violating clear boundaries, sometimes there's no other option. And I do believe that if we can worry about these issues earlier in the relationship, we'll get to a point where divorce isn't required because these are things that we should know from the beginning. So whenever I came into the marriage, I was under the assumption that me and her will come in as two equal halves, that she will think the way I think, that she'll want what I want, that she will have long term goals that we will be able to build together. I thought she was where I was at, and I never went and met her where she was at when we were younger. And I will take full responsibility and tell you my leadership failed us. There were times where I should have put up strict, clear boundaries, and I just wanted our marriage to work. I will tell you that she never cheated. There was no infidelity. It was nothing like that. It was plenty of other issues. So whenever she decided to violate those boundaries, even though I told her not to, there was no recourse. And what I will tell you is there really can be recourse. There's really nothing that you can do to them. You can't hit them. I do not recommend that. Do not hit. Do not strike. Violence is not the answer when it comes to marriage. You yelling at them doesn't do anything. Talking to them, for the most part, you can talk. But if that person doesn't want to reflect and doesn't want to understand their role and what is going on, then talking does absolutely nothing. So the only recourse is to get out of there. But what I will tell you is if you have that conversation earlier in the relationship, then maybe we can circumvent that and make sure that no more divorces happen. Because that should be an early conversation, a lot earlier than marriage. This is exactly what I expect from you, and these are things that you cannot do. And this is perfect. I've seen a lot of channels, I've seen a lot of people talk, women talk about it, men talk about it. Oh, it's going to hurt this and it's going to hurt that. I will tell you in all honesty, if there is a clear boundary and you do not see eye to eye with that boundary, it is good to split. Try to talk it over, try to get through it, but if there is no getting through it, and that person wants to violate your boundary, or you think that boundary is unfair, because sometimes that is a thing, you don't think that that is a fair boundary, staying in that relationship does a disservice to both of y'all. If you believe that that boundary shouldn't be there, and they do, then they're gonna feel disrespected and they're gonna feel unheard, and vice versa. You're gonna feel controlled. You're gonna get resentful, and that happens in marriages. So what I will tell you is, whenever you see that, if he sees that, let him go. If you see that, go. Vice versa. If she sees that, let her go. If you see that, go. It doesn't matter. These are things that you should be aware of, because when you get married, these don't go away. They get bigger. And then since you are married, since you are supposed to be one flesh, it gets more personal. It hurts more. You have kids. It hurts even more. These are conversations that should happen way earlier in the relationship. And I was a very timid husband. I just wanted to be happy. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to do this. And what I found later on in the relationship was we would have these cruxes. We would have these issues where we were in a bind, and I would try to talk and try to get through it, and she wouldn't talk. She didn't want to talk, and a lot of people don't want to talk. And that should have been the clear indicator that we were just not a good match. I do support her. I do support my children. I will take responsibility. I got her pregnant 3 times. Those are my kids. I'm going to make sure that they are provided for to the best of my ability, and I will live in the worst situation possible until I can afford to not only take care of them, but to take care of myself as well, and then some. So I'm going to put the burden on myself as a man, as a leader. That is my job. But we just do not mesh. And what I will tell you is that happens sometimes. And I even had somebody in my DM earlier today. We were having a conversation, and they didn't want to take responsibility. They don't need to take responsibility in a relationship, but they came out as an authority. They came out saying that, oh, this is the way it should be. And then whenever I give them a complicated response, they send me to a website. So I will tell you, there are people that should not be making content. They should not be an authority. They should not be giving an opinion. So if you are concerned about that, there are people that should not be creating. So you should go create. Go create to your heart's content. Go make another responsibility for yourself. But I'm going to take responsibility, and I'm going to stand up and draw a line in the sand and say, This is a clear boundary, and if this boundary is violated, there are repercussions, and the repercussions is you don't have access to me. You need to leave. And what I will tell you is boundaries are biblical. The Lord Himself, put a clear boundary in the New Testament under the New Covenant that everything goes through Jesus Christ, and that's what Jesus said. He is the Father. You cannot get to the Father unless through Him. So I am not going to speak for God. I'm not going to say that if you break that boundary that you're going straight to hell, because I don't know. If you break that boundary and you get into heaven, that's between you and God alone. That has nothing to do with me. But what I will tell you is that is a clear boundary that He set. I don't want to violate that boundary. I am going to go through Jesus as per requested, and I'm going to stay within the confines because honestly, I'm a little guy. I don't have too much pride where I'm just saying, oh, I'm not doing that. I can. Absolutely. If that's what He asked of me, I appreciate everything He's done. I will tell you, I have not gotten this far without Him. I really haven't. He has been absolutely amazing. A lot of things have happened, even something that happened 5 minutes ago. And I am very, very excited about what happened. I'll get more into that later. But things are getting better because I totally submit to Him. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a sin. I'm not saying that it's not to be taken very lightly. I'm not saying that just go and get divorced whenever you want. What I am saying is in relationships, if there is no recourse, they will not respect you and they will destroy everything. So I will take my chances and I will do what I believe is right. And I will hold myself to a standard and I will hold my family to a standard. And if they break that standard, then I need to do what's best and I need to get out of it for a long-term situation. And that is my goal. That is my plan. That's just kind of how the way it works. And that's my thought. So if you think differently, if you think I'm wrong, let me know. Tell me, man. Let's have a conversation. I think this is a very good conversation to have. Again, I want to combat this as an authority, as somebody that's been through it, somebody that's going through it right now, and somebody that has life experience. Because I am a dad, and I love being a dad. If you're running low on dads, if you need a dad, I would love to be your dad. Being a dad is the best job on the planet. I love guiding, and that is what it is leadership and guiding and making decisions for the long term and making the bad decisions, making the hard decisions, making the decisions nobody wants to make. Everybody talks about being a leader. Everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants everybody to look at them and be in charge until it's time to make hard decisions, and then they fold. So I'm here to make those hard decisions, and I will make those hard decisions for the betterment of my family. So if you have any questions, reach out. What do you guys think? Let me hear your thoughts. I hope you have a great day. God bless.